What is going on, Guardians, and welcome back to another Destiny gameplay video. Hey, in this video you're going to see exclusively doubles footage. The doubles playlist is live and active this week, and so in this video I really want to talk about why it is in your best interest to invest in this playlist if and when it is ever available. It is definitely a playlist that is worth your attention, so I'm going to give you some of my main reasons as to why that is the case. Just as a disclaimer, this playlist is, it can get pretty sweaty pretty fast. I know that in my past week with it, whether I'm going in solo or I'm going in with a partner, I've run into a number of known players in the competitive community as well as known clans in the competitive community. So expect to be challenged there. So getting into the reasons why this is in your best interest to play in the doubles playlist, first and foremost, one of the biggest reasons is that this is the most minimalistic team-based environment in the game. So what I mean by that is team play, right? If you boil it down to its most basic form, it's 2v2, right? That is the most minimalistic team-based environment you could be in. So there's a lot of strengths, there's a lot of good things about being in that environment, and you know, you eliminate some of the chaos. Even 3v3 can get a little chaotic at times. So it's nice to have this minimalistic environment because in this environment it's easier to focus on the basics. It's often the team that has the best execution of the most basic team concepts that wins the match in 2v2. So things like, oh, by the way, timeout, this cheeky little spot here, I was actually giggling like a schoolgirl on stream as I'm up here and they're like, where is this guy? I love it. But anyways, so in this minimalistic environment you can focus on things like pinching. It's so much easier to think about pinching with your teammate when there's just one teammate and only two opponents. So much easier to think about those things and coordinate those pinches, and the more you do it in this environment, the more natural it's going to feel in other environments as well. Understanding the waves of special ammo and having a lot of foresight and understanding about all that goes into that. So some people might say, well, hey, I've got that down, that doesn't pertain to me. I know very well the timing that this stuff spawns in the map. Well, it goes beyond just the, knowing the time that it spawns. One of the most infuriating scenarios for me when I solo queue is when I'll see specials about to go up. I will challenge my opponents by a box, and I'll get, I'll kill one of my opponents, and the other guy I'll get to where he's like absolute within an inch of his life, and then I'll go down, and then a teammate of mine will swoop in and finish the kill, and then there's special ammo and there's my orb, and you know where I'm going with this, and they stroll on over to the special ammo, they're like, oh hey, green ammo, and they pop the box, and then they turn around, they're like, oh, I'll revive my teammate too. It's like, no. And I lost a doubles match. I was on a 15 win streak the other day. I lost my first doubles match because a scenario like that exact scenario where I pushed my opponents to try and get special control, and I killed one and got the other one absolute. Teammate comes in, finishes the kill, gets the special ammo, then picks me up, and then by the time that he picked me up, obviously I can't get that special, and the other team had already respawned and got mid-map control and got control of the other boxes of special. So we lost the match because I had to go the overwhelming majority of the match without any special ammo to combat shotgun rushers. So I did what I could, but it wasn't enough. So anyways, understanding, looking at your HUD before popping special ammo and being like, oh, well, a teammate's down, so I obviously better pick them up first. Understanding stuff like that, also timing 30 seconds before special pops up on the map, you may start to get try and get some mid-map control, something like that. Get into a power position where you can control and dominate special ammo. Another thing in this minimalistic environment, your use of grenades and melee, your equipment use is exaggerated. It's even that much more important. And it's a lot easier to be intentional about using your grenades and melees when there's less chaos, when it's just you and two other combatants on the other team. You're a lot more cognizant of your cooldowns, and you're a lot more intentional about the ways that you use them, and there's a little bit more foresight that goes into it in that minimalistic environment. So getting into a rhythm where you are thinking about those things regularly before engagements is a good thing. And the last thing is it's a lot easier in this minimalistic environment to coordinate super uses as well. So when you're in this minimalistic environment, all these team-based factors just become that much more pronounced, and you think about them pretty regularly in the doubles playlist, and then you go into a playlist other than this. You go into Trials of Osiris, and you're in a good rhythm where you're understanding these things. The next thing I would say, another strength of the doubles playlist is you're going to find yourself getting pinched on more frequently. You're going to be in that scenario where your teammate is dead and you have 2 people pushing you. So that is a good place to regularly be in. That's a good thing in public matches. You know, it doesn't really matter if you win or lose. It's good to be in that scenario a lot, because the more regular that scenario becomes, the more fluid your decision making in those scenarios also becomes. So you're going to get a lot of practice with evasion, and you're also not just evasion like getting away from a 1v2, but also you're going to get a lot more practice in challenging a 1v2 and how to make that work. And it's good, you know, when those things become regular occurrences, you're going to find yourself then when you go into Trials of Osiris, and you're not going to get the jitters as much when you're in a 1v3. You're not going to feel all the nerves maybe as much, just because it's much more normal. You've been doing it for a while now, right? So doubles playlist puts you in that position a lot more frequently. That's a good thing. It's going to become more natural for you, and your decision making is going to be a lot better because of it, and a little bit more instantaneous. So it's not going to be that decision making delay either. So that's another reason why doubles is great. Another reason is if you're going in with a teammate, if you're going in with a pre-made fire team, you and a friend of yours, you're going to generate some chemistry. The more that you play in doubles with a single person, the better your chemistry is going to become with that person, and that is a great strength to have. Understanding how a certain player moves, how they make decisions, kind of expecting them to do things before they do them. That is great to have that kind of chemistry with another player. In this footage, you're seeing me playing with Apex Chris, and you know, I've been playing with Apex for a year and a half now. We've generated a lot of chemistry. We do 2-man trials almost weekly. Sometimes we can't make it happen, but we try and make that happen every week. We've done a number of flawless cards where it's just me and him. And I'm not saying that to be like, oh, we're the only people that we're not the only people that have ever done that. There are other gamers who do that pretty regularly. I know. For example, Examper. That's a word now. For example, Dr. Lupo and Ramblin do that pretty regularly. I know that Nkooch and Hush have done that as well. So if you're interested in that kind of gameplay, there's some other places you can go to find it for sure. Check those guys out. Anyways, so it's good to get chemistry with another player, and doubles is a great place to generate that chemistry. Also, if you're a solo player, this is a great opportunity to find potential future teammates. So a number of the people who are on my friends list that I've played with regularly and most consistently in my gaming history are people that I ran into in when I solo queued. I ran into them, they were on my team, and we played really well together, even without communication. We stayed in the lobby maybe a few matches and we kicked some butt, or maybe we went up against a great team. I've been in that scenario where I solo queue, I get a random teammate, and the people on the other team are known competitive players, but then we beat them, and you're like, whoa, this guy played really well, we played really well together, we coordinated our pinches and stuff. So you party up with them, you end up chatting it up, shooting the breeze, playing a few matches. Next thing you know, they're on your friends list. Next thing you know, you've played with them a few times. Next thing you know, you've got great chemistry with them. Next thing you know, you're Sherpa taking people through trials, you and this guy that you met in a random match. So it's a great opportunity to find people to play with. Last thing I would tell you, don't be discouraged by defeat. Even if you lose more matches than you win in doubles, that's okay. It's all about the frequency of getting yourself in this environment, because in this environment, in a 2v2 environment, the importance of, there's more weight on your shoulders. You can't just derp around and expect your team to win like you can in sixes. So the more you're in that environment, the more you're forced to make a play or lose, the more natural that that process becomes. So anyways, hopefully this has been helpful, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the gameplay, and hopefully I'll catch you in the doubles playlist.